I need to cold plunge today, and I'm tired. Today's day 484 of cold plunging, and my goal is to get to 500. And it's practically just 15 days away. It's half a month away, and I think I'm gonna take a break after tomorrow. Maybe today. I mean, I don't feel great, and so I'm just going on this walk, and I'm gonna talk about what it means to cold plunge for a year. So I had cold plunged for a year, 365 days without any breaks. And then I did an additional 100 days on top of that. Got to day like 473 or 74. And I started to get sick. And by day 477, I think, I completely had to take a break for the first time. Because I was very sick and I was only getting sicker. So I think past a year, it stopped being the great experience that it once was. But for the very first year that I was cold plunging, it was an excellent experience. And I want to talk about that because there's a lot of lessons that I learned about life. And the reason why 365 sounds arbitrary, but it's not, is because if you dedicate yourself to doing anything hard, typically physically, maybe running every day, maybe going to the gym every day. If you dedicate a year of your life to that, if you sacrifice a year of your life to that, you'll forever know what it means to stay committed to something for a year. And it's both way longer than you think, and when it's over, it's done. Like that. So here's what it took for me personally to get to a year. To get to a year cold plunging, personally, my entire family had gone on vacation, and I skipped out on that. So that's one thing I had to sacrifice. I ended up getting really sick with bronchitis, and I still went cold plunging. I couldn't go on walks, and I was getting into freezing water, which made recovery even longer. I just needed to prove to myself that I could do it because I had set the goal. And let me switch hands here, but yeah, I had been sick, I had skipped out on vacations. There was a lot of days where there was self-doubt. There was a lot of great days too. And that brings me to my second point of why it's a good challenge. Doing anything hard forces you to be positive. It forces your mind to be positive. So, personally speaking, I have pretty severe ADHD, and my brain is like a radio where it's constantly trying to tune in to different wavelengths, and it's like playing different stations at the same time. It's overwhelming. Like if I'm trying to go to sleep, but I can't turn this radio off, then sleeping is very difficult. But when I commit to something, whether it be cold plunging or I'd committed to training for a half marathon for half a year. It's like, I wasn't running when I was training for a half marathon. I ran without music because for once I found something that it tuned out all the radio waves and it tuned into the right station. And I was just hearing positive thoughts, You can do this. I was hearing that tiny voice of self-belief and self-confidence saying, you can do this. One more step. If you can go one more step, you can complete this mile. You can do it. You got this. You know, just I tuned into the positive radio station, and cold plunging was no different. The year that I cold plunged, I had a fantastic mentality. I'm gonna switch hands here, but I had a fantastic mentality. I was just thinking really positively, and for I don't know 7 to 9 months, cold plunging was getting me to get up early. I've had a huge issue with insomnia in my life and just not being able to get up early. Well, because of cold plunging, I was out of bed by 7 a.m. getting the cold plunge done. For over half a year, so it's pretty amazing that it did that too. And yeah, I'm gonna go back to point number one for a little bit. So I'm gonna call that a reference point. When you do something for a year, you create a reference point in your mind for how long a year is. Anyhow, now that it's over, I'm burnt out. I just need to get to day 500, and it's just another like 15 days practically. But it feels so far away because I mean, I'm getting sick easier. I'm sick often. Yeah, I never mitigated. I didn't take the time to mitigate the stress that the cold plunge was causing on my body. I just knew it felt fantastic, like to get a challenge out of the way. So, you know, no matter how the day goes, you can go, I completed some hard today, you know? Every day where you complete a challenge is a good day. And I just want to motivate y'all to try something. Try something for a year. Yeah, I know now's a different story because I'm on day 484 and I'm not in the best shape now. But I don't want that to dissuade you from trying something hard, because fatigue and injury, it's gonna be a part of your journey when you start committing to hard things. It's maybe the worst part of it all. But if you don't get into something hard just to avoid fatigue and injury, then you're also missing out on just the amazing benefits that these things have. You know, when I was training for a half marathon, during that time, so I mean, I've had pretty, like, just to cope with ADHD, I've had pretty bad phone addiction, pretty much since I've gotten my phone. And for that half a year, I just was not touching my phone. You know, it's like I didn't need it because running was helping me overcome my addictions. It had given me direction in my life. It had given me a sense of purpose. And then I ended up running 15 miles. That's one thing that I would have changed, is I would have never ran 15 miles during training. Then that injured me. And I had to run the half marathon on cramped legs. I walked a few miles. I forced myself to run 6.5 on cramped legs, and that messed up my legs even further, to the point I haven't been able to run for a year now. So, lesson learned. If you're training for something like a marathon or a half marathon, do not run that distance during training. Save that for the actual event. And when it comes to cold plunging, a few mistakes that I made was, man, I mean, I pushed myself so hard. On day 365, I thought it'd be nice to do 365 seconds, which is about, I don't know, 6 minutes. I think it's 6 minutes and 5 seconds, if I'm not mistaken. And dude, that was rough. I mean, I've gotten cold plunging in icy cold rivers when it was like 7 degrees outside, and afterwards I like sat in my car for like 20 minutes trying to warm up. I mean, I really pushed myself. But now I have good stories to tell, and I wanted to talk about this experience because yeah, not many people have done this. It's pretty cool knowing that I'm one of the few people that have documented 365 days consecutive of cold plunging. That is cool, and that's a belt that I'm gonna wear. So thank you guys for listening to my story. I appreciate you guys. I hope you guys like talking videos like this. And so I'll see you in the next one that I make. I'm gonna enjoy my walk now. See ya.